Hello, welcome to Tricia's Cards and Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to make this little card holder. It's obviously for Christmas cards. This little piece of twine that I've tied around comes off, and it's all made out of one piece of card, and it'll hold 6 of these little 4x4 cards and envelopes. So I'll just put those back in a second. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but they do fit nicely. It's nice and snug, so it's a nice closure on it. I've used one piece of card to make it from, or paper, designer series paper to make it from, and I just used the back of the other opposite side of the card to make the flap. Okay, so, and it just will then again slip on. Made a little tag to go on the front of it, and it's all made, the cards that will be inside, I'll do another video, but they're all made with the same stamp set, which is Don't Stop Believing, which is this set. Including, I've used every single stamp for the cards and for the tag. The only other thing I did use, I wanted to embellish the tag a little bit, so I used the little holly and berries from the Banner Year stamp set as well. Okay, but everything else comes from the Don't Stop Believing stamp set. Okay, so this is what we're going to make. Now, to make this, we need a piece of, I've cut a piece of 12 by 12 card down to 9 by 9.5 inches, and I'm just going to use my trimmer to score it, and I need to score I need to check which side is the longer side. So this is the 9-inch side. The shorter side, the 9-inch side, you need to score at 2 1/4 and 6 3/4, or you could just turn it round and do it 2 1/4. Okay, and then on the longer side, the 9.5-inch side, you need to score it at 4 1/2 and 5. We only need a 1/2-inch space here, like this, on the sides to fit the 6 in. Okay. If you want to put less in, that's fine, but this will hold 6 cards and envelopes. So I'm going to use my bone folder to score the lines now. So we need to score along the 4 1/2-inch side, 4 1/2 and at 5 1/2 on this side, and then at 2 1/4 and 6 1/4 on this side, and they should meet up nicely in the middle. There we go. Okay, because it should have been half. Okay, right, so this is the tricky bit, but it's also the bit that makes it all gum together in one piece. So on the first of your fold, so the one at the 4 1/2 mark, you want to bring the fold to the edge, and you want it to come right to where the point is. There we go. And then you score it, fold it, press it down. I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure it goes right to the corner, and then we want to do the same thing where the 5 1/2 now comes to join this edge, so this edge to there, and then we need to just press that fold down. This wallet, the note card wallet that I've made, I've just adapted it for a different size cards and envelopes, but this was demonstrated for demonstrators by Michaela Kitteridge, and she did this on a Facebook Live that I watched, and she made it to fit some of the little note cards and envelopes that you can buy. So I've changed the dimensions a little bit because I wanted it for a 4x4 card, 4x4 cards and envelopes. So this is the last one now, so I'm just making sure that is nice and straight. So when you fold it up, it comes together like this. Okay, and what I'm going to do now, you could leave it like that if you want to, but I think it's better if you stick these down so you've just got that bit in the middle opening. Okay, otherwise it can get a bit unwieldy. Okay, so this is the next part. We're going to stick these down, and I'm using some Tombow, but you can use whatever glue you want, whichever glue you find easiest, but I think for me this works best for me. Don't go over the edges at all if you can help it, because you don't want it to stick to the cards once you put them inside. So I'm doing all four. I did try and do it just two at a time, but when it comes to putting the second ones together, it's easier if you actually put the glue on first. There we go. Right, so that's all glued. So now we just need to fold those in and press them down. There we go. So this one's down here, so those sides are stuck down, and then this side, stick these down. There we go. So when you open it, this opens up. So I just want to, there we go, so you've got some nice edges there. Okay. You can, if you want to reinforce, just go in with your bone folder to reinforce the folds. There you go. So that's done. Now we need to take the smaller piece. This piece is cut 4.5, and I used the piece that was the 3-inch piece that was cut off the 12x12 piece of paper, and I'm going to use this as the outside this time, so this will come over the top here. So I'm going to stick down the shorter edge. I've folded it I've scored it at 1 inch and 1.5 inches. So 1 inch, here we go, and 1.5, and I'm having the longer edge at the front. Okay, so I just need to put glue on this part of the flap here, and again make sure you don't want it to come over the first score line. There we go. And then this will fit up to your edge there. Make sure it doesn't come, it comes to the edges as well, and that will fold in there. So there we have the flap coming over. I've got some cards and envelopes here. I've got 6 cards and envelopes here. I haven't actually made the cards up yet. I'm going to do those in the next video, and they will just slide inside the flap. So to tie this up, I'm going to use some twine again. I just think it's nice. It gives it a bit more of a rustic feel. You could use ribbon. I have got some nice ribbon I could have used, but I'm going to use this. I'll just carry on using this for now. Here we go. You don't want it too tight because you're going to be sliding it on and off, but you don't want it to be too loose either. So just make a bow. Could have left it in a knot, but I think it looks nicer as a bow. So just need to make that a bit smaller. There we go. Cut those off. And then I'm going to make a little tag to go on the front. And what I've got is a piece of real red, so that it matches the colours on the paper, and this is cut at 2 7/8 by 2, and this one is 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to use this delightful tag punch, and it has 3 different ridges, so you can make 3 different sized punches. The first one is the 2-inch, which is what I'm doing. So if you line it up between the two, you know that it should be straight at the back. I'm just going to pop that through, and then I'm going to do the same with this one. Pop this one through, and this is the next size. Well, no, it's not the next size down. It must be 2 1.5 and 1 inches. So this one's a little bit more tricky, but we'll try and get this one centered. So just check where you've got it inside. Obviously not there. So try and get that in the middle and punch that out. There we go. So they all fit together, and then I'm going to just, there we go, you see, they just fit. I'm going to stick this on rather than having it flapping around. There you go. I want this to fit, whoops, exactly the top. And then the front, I've got another, I'm going to take another piece of card, which is 1 3/4, and I'm just going to cut it down to 2 inches. 2, no, I think it was 2. There we go. Right, I need to make it a bit smaller, so I'll make that to be 1 3/4. There we go. So we've got 1 3/4 by 2, and I'm just going to use my corner rounder. Stampin' Up does have a corner rounder, but this is one I've already got, so I'm going to use this to do the, there we go, the corners, just so that it looks a bit more, so that it fits in with that a bit more. And then I'm going to stamp on Don't Stop Believing. go. So that one's done. And then I'm using some shaded spruce for the holly leaves. One at the top. And one at the bottom, or a pair of holly leaves at the bottom. There we go. And then I've got real red for the berries. And I found that one of the berries will fit nicely in that middle part. I hope you don't mind seeing the top of my head if you can. And then a little bit more, hang on, just managed to get red on this part ink on my stamping block, and one just there in the middle. There we go. So we've got our little tag decorated there. So this is going to sit on the inside there. If you wanted to, you could use some, I've got some little red, these are old Stampin' Up rhinestone basic jewels. These are in the red and they would look nice as the little berries as well if you wanted to. There are some out, I think these might be retired as well, I'm not sure. Toil Tidings glitter enamel dots. You could use these for the berries as well if you use the little ones. Okay, but there's a few different ones you can use, so I'm going to stick this one on now. And then I'm going to just show you a nice little tip again that Michaela gave when she did her demonstration. I'm going to put the to and from on the back. There we go. And what she did was she cut a diagonal to the hole from the edge. You won't see it, and then she just managed to, you can just slip it on like that and it doesn't show, and there's your tag on the front of your wallet. So there's the note card wallet that will hold up to 6 cards and envelopes, and this is the 4x4 cards and envelopes, but the envelopes are slightly bigger, that's why I had to make it 4.5. Okay, so there we go. Hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you'll come back to see me making the cards to go inside. Bye, happy Christmas.